what a interesting set of events that have turned out for the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Falcons fan base. This is something, when you look at it, it's problematic. It's something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that we all need to really understand that, it's going to be a process. Now, I know a lot of people are saying to themselves as well that we're tired of it as fans, and we just want things. We just want to win, right? I think we all can admit to that, right? We just want to win. All right, what's going on, Maurice? Norman Fitzgerald, the King. Quite a few people who have already joined, and like I said, I think we all can agree that it's an issue that's not going to be a quick fix. I think the reality of things, despite what we want to win, but this is not going to be an easy fix, and this is a surreal moment, not only for myself but a lot of people. This is not going to be a quick fix. It's not going to be a quick fix. So, Falcons fans, if you finally agree to yourself, it's like, all right, come to the realization that this is not going to be an easy fix. Just put it red and black or thumbs up in this live chat. If you can honestly say to yourself, this is not going to be a quick fix, all right? This is not going to be a quick fix. Does it suck for you? Or have you come to the conclusion that even if we do decide to quote unquote fire Arthur Smith, trade Desmond Ridder, draft a new quarterback, or fire Dave Ragone, it's like you have finally come to the realization that this is not going to be a 1 year or quite possibly a 2 year fix. You guys feel that way, put that red and black or just like this video. So one of the things I think, we're going to expand on the quarterback position tonight, and it's going to be an interesting topic that I think a lot of people are going to love for the most part. And like I said, we really, okay, so we have come on, yo. Slasher say thanks. Norman Fitzgerald thinks it's not going to be an easy fix, a quick fix. Jonathan Rosier says, man, Mike, there has to be a young offensive coordinator out there somewhere that is ready. See, that's the thing. It's like, let's take a second to really think about what you just said. A young offensive coordinator that's ready to take. That's the whole point of, it's like, you don't think that's a oxymoron? A young quarterback that is ready to do it now. I think that's the reason why a lot of teams are in the position that they're in, not just the Atlanta Falcons. Everybody wants a young, up-and-coming star that could quite possibly be here for years and implement some new, elaborate technique or scheme that's exciting. It's like, that's the problem. Arthur Smith is the same age as me, bro. Arthur Smith is the same age as I am. This is where we got. Dave Ragone is not far behind him. That's the problem. A lot of these guys have not had enough experience. Arthur Smith has been in the league for about 17 years. He's been a head coach for 3. I think that's the problem with the NFL. We got all these new kids on the block that a lot of people just feels like, all right, the old school way, man, that shit ain't working. It's boring as hell. Well, the new school guys are not happening right now. There's a lot of failures with a lot of these new cats, these new coaches. Airbnb, yeah, he got four. Look, they don't pass about 4,000 yards, but the dude done got sacked 58 fucking times. Let me say that again. Yeah, Airbnb and that offense has put up a ton of yards, passing yards, but he done got sacked 58 times, and they can't run the ball worth a crap. And he's a running back. Just think about that. Airbnb is a running back who specializes in running backs. Yet, he can't run the ball. His team can't run the ball. You see, like I said, it's an oxymoron. Now, I'd rather have experienced guys who's been there, done that, and they know how to get through any and every situation. That's exactly what's wrong with Arthur. He hasn't been through these periods where things get absolutely tough, when the media's on your behind, when the fans are on your behind, when you can't find a rhythm offensively. He hasn't been through, so he's learning on the go. And a lot of them, we want, and this is something that a lot of guys, you have a guy in Rex Ryan, a lot of these coaches, like, they spoke about this. Tony Dungy, they spoke on this. We're trying to run out all of these older coaches, but the older coaches know what they're doing. These young cats have no clue, and you giving them 3 years to get it right. It took them 30 years to finally get it. Bill Belichick is in the league for 20 years. He was in the league for 10 plus years, for 20 years before he finally got it. But we want to hire these 30, 40-year-old coaches and expect them to get it immediately. So, like I said, I don't know if honestly, I don't know if that's the answer to things, man, is to bring in a new, vibrant coach. I think that's the reason why many teams are in the, like, you look at the Rams are a night. Like, look, they okay. Mike McDaniels is only doing that because they spent about $500 billion on that offense. Let's keep that real. And Mike McDaniels didn't build that defense. Let's keep that real. Mike McDaniel didn't build that offense. He came into a situation that was already fixed, that already had potential. Mike McDaniel didn't build that team from the very beginning. All they really did, they drafted a wide receiver and traded for Tyreek Hill. So if that offense really as good as is it really as good as it's supposed to? Like, is he the reason why that team is good? Absolutely not. So a lot of times we be thinking, a lot of these young head coaches are as what's happening, but they came into a situation that was already good. He didn't really have to do much in Miami. They already had a quarterback before he got there, and it was Tua. So, like I said, a lot of it's like, I just don't think, it's as important or as good as people think it is. So, okay. Maury says Arthur Smith has to go because the play calling is head-scratching situational football. I love Ritter, and he needs to be a better offensive play caller. And this is something that, like I said, I said this before. I said this last night. Jew said it as well. I think Arthur Smith is I think he's a great play caller. I think he's a great play caller. The Falcons can move the ball. The Falcons offense can move the ball. Even when we did not have a lot of talent, the Falcons were still, last year, they were still able to move the ball when they had their possessions. When they had opportunities, they moved the ball well. So the question isn't whether or not Arthur Smith is a great play caller. The problem with Arthur Smith is that he does dumb ass shit at the absolute worst time. And when things are bad, he doubles down on that dumb shit. Okay? He does some of the dumbest shit. Why would you, with a blitzing team, all right, we know that the Buccaneers like to blitz. And when you're deep in your own territory, why would you, in turn, go to a match protect, leave your fullback one-on-one with a guy that's quick and Antoine Winfield, and he's known for that defense to get sacks and to get pressure on quarterbacks. He's known for that, and you put a fullback on him, and he ended up affecting the play. And then furthermore, on top of that, you got on that play, you only send a tight end in a route. You sent a tight end in a route, but you sent the tight end on a deep corner route. And even on that play is, one, the design of the play and the timing of that play. It was ignorant. It was stupid. And then two, which a lot of people even saying on that's Desmond Ritter's fault. That's Desmond Ritter's fault on that play. Why? Because he didn't throw the ball out. He didn't throw the ball away. You got to have a clock in your head as a quarterback to understand I don't have 3 seconds. I don't have 3 seconds, 4 seconds to get rid of that ball. You're on your 2-yard line. Why are you holding the ball that long? Get rid of it. So not only on that play is Arthur Smith fault for calling it, but it's Desmond Ritter's fault for holding it for 3 seconds. Dude, you on your 2-yard line. What are you thinking? So a lot of these things, when it come down to Arthur Smith, he's not a bad play caller. Anytime a coach can have 3 different players to have over 1,000 yards, it's no longer a matter of is he's good enough schematically. A lot of his issues is because he does dumb ass shit at the absolute worst times. That was stupid as fuck. The reason why the Atlanta Falcons were in that position to begin with was they got arrogant after that first drive. They saw it work with the quick screens with Bijan Robinson. They marched down the field. They used all them screen plays and, the halfback passes to Bijan Robinson and the quick screens with Kyle Pitts and whatnot. They got happy, and then they tried to go right back to the same play. And it did not work, and it backfired. And we tell you guys, we say this all the time, the small, intricate details of football. That Kyle Pitts, he lags. And he loafs on his plays. And guess what? The DB saw that he lost. Anytime, see, the thing is with Kyle Pitts, and what a lot of people don't understand, that play is actually a good play, but it turned to a bad play because they read Kyle Pitts the whole way. Kyle Pitts has a tendency when he's not getting the ball, when he knows he's not getting the ball, he's not going to try to block. He's not going to try to run full speed. And that DB know it. So if that DB, if that's Julio Jones, that DB is never that aggressive. That defensive back is never that aggressive. To leave Julio Jones to be that aggressive in that position, that tells me he had no respect for Kyle Pitts to beat him in the route. He got no respect for Kyle Pitts in that position to be that aggressive to leave him that open. They have no respect for those wide receivers. If Kyle Pitts just pushes Carlton Davis, if he just puts a hand on him, that's a gain for at least 5 yards. But Kyle Pitts loafed on that play. He allowed that DB to be that aggressive in that position. A lot of times, a lot of plays that may seemingly like it's bad because of the result, is bad because guys not doing their job and selling their responsibilities. If a guy doesn't block, I don't care how well designed a play is, or if a guy doesn't sell his route, or if a guy doesn't block, if the quarterback isn't as quick with the ball getting the ball out, doesn't matter how well that play is designed. Two things happened on that interception. Kyle Pitts did not sell it, and Arthur Smith got super egotistical because he saw it work on that first run and he went back to that well way too many times. The dude called like 3 or 4 damn screenplays on the first drive. So he just assumed that Tampa Bay was not going to make an adjustment, which is fucking idiotic to begin with. Why? Because you got Todd Bowles, who's one of the most brilliant defensive minds this game ever seen. You just assume that his defense wasn't going to make an adjustment. Kyle Pitts had a good game. And I say this all the time. People think Kyle Pitts is just this fucking unicorn and he's just some great wide receiver. He's not. Why? Because he doesn't want to be it. Kyle Pitts loafs. He doesn't sell his routes. He doesn't block consistently. And we think just because he's 6'6" and he's this freak athlete that he's just a great player. And it's just not the case. He can be that in time if he takes his job seriously, but from what I understand and I read, I saw the interview is that Kyle Pitts said this was his first major knee injury, first major injury that he's had to deal with, and he's kind of struggling mentally on how to deal with that injury because he's never had this happen. That's what I'm saying. That interception was off film because they had been reading Kyle Pitts' behavior the entire time. DR King, they read that right off. The man was already in the backfield before Desmond Ridder was able to even throw the ball. Again, he read Kyle Pitts. Just go back. If you go back and look at that, if Kyle Pitts just puts a hand on him, if he just chucks him with the hand, that interception never happens. We came out throwing the ball. And see, this is another thing with Jew and why he was so upset. K Styles was speechless, and we all speechless because this is exact way we lose games. We've lost at least 4 games this year off that same principle. Coming out in the fourth quarter, trying to establish Bijan Robinson in this passing game, this quick passing game to get him the ball in screens and flat routes and wheel routes and all that type of stuff. We come out doing all that cute stuff in the first quarter. We get behind. Desmond Ridder throws an interception, and we assume it's going to keep working. It's ego with this man. So a lot of these things that we've seen and we're blaming on the players, this is no longer on the players when we keep losing with the same game plan over and over. We've lost the exact same way, and for whatever reason, this man is hell-bent on running that same play and running those same plays, and teams are studying it. Mafia, that's exactly right. Teams are studying it. They know first quarter, this is exactly what the Falcons are going to do. They're going to do the same thing in the first quarter. So if we get off to a fast start, chances are we going to win the game. You're giving these guys momentum by doing this type of stuff. This is what you were saying last night. We're giving these guys momentum. Why? Because we coming out with the same game plan in the first quarter, trying to throw them wheel routes, trying to throw them quick screen routes to Bijan, and it happens every time. And then in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, we want to run the ball and bring in other guys like Jeberaeel Hodge just to get the offense going. So this is all ego when it comes down to this man. So it's not a matter of if Arthur Smith is a great play caller or a matter if Desmond Ridder isn't the guy. No quarterback is going to be able to be successful in this offense if we keep doing the exact same things over and over and over again. We neglect the running game. And what's more upsetting for me than anything is because we literally, the last few games, we've rolled this wave of using Bijan Robinson like a running back. He's been getting better as a running back. That's the crazy part. We've neglected the fact that these guys can run the damn rock and they can run the ball. So instead of sticking to the plan and getting off to a quick start and saying, all right, man, let's run the ball with Tyler. Let's run the ball with Bijan. Let's run the ball with CP. We did all of that in the second half of the game when Desmond Ridder was already out of sync, the offensive line was already out of sync. Now we want to decide that we want to run the ball to get back into the game. But we continue to say that Desmond Ridder ain't it. And Kyle Pitts need to be freed. It ain't even that. Nobody's going to be freed if he keep going back to the same freaking problems. And that's the issue. It's the ego. Arthur Smith is a great play caller, but he's fucking stupid. He's poor at being a head coach. He's terrible at being a head coach right now. Q Lavender, why did we barely use all 3 backs? Because he was hell-bent on... See, the thing is, Arthur will never admit, but he's listening to the media. He's listening to the fans when they say, Arthur don't know the passing game. He listened to all these naysayers. He tried to pretend like he tough and he don't listen to them, but he listening to all these guys. He really does give a damn about what the media is saying. Because this is like the 5th game this year. We've been in close games all because he was hell-bent on trying to pass the damn ball. He's hell-bent on that. He's getting his own ways. He's holding his team back. He's doing that to himself. This is all on him. So again, this is why I say Arthur has always been a great play caller. He's always been a great play caller, even going back to. He's always been a great play caller. His issue has always been whether or not, and what I'm seeing even now is Arthur just his ego is his big problem. Is his problem. Because he dials up great play calls, whether it's run or the pass. He's very good at it. The thing is, he's done dumb shit at the absolute worst time. You got 3 running backs and you barely use all of them running the ball. You come right out the gate, throwing the ball, checking the ball down, trying to do all these cute RPO and quick screens and all this goofy ass shit. And then people see, this is the reason why people say you're a bad play caller. It's not that he's a bad play caller. He's just fucking stupid. And to say that nobody, Mafi, like, I love you, dude, but you saying some dumb ass shit right there. It's not a matter of if these guys fit the scheme, because they clearly fit the scheme. Matt Ryan played well in his scheme, and Desmond Ridder, obviously, he's improving in this scheme. So it's not a matter of not, oh, he's had quarterback and nobody fit the scheme. You don't fit the scheme and have games where you have over 400 or 500 yards total. This offense works. The numbers prove it. The averages prove it. But the problem is this is why the Falcons struggle in the red zone, is because he make dumbass decisions at the absolute worst times. And the Falcons offense make bad decisions at the worst time when it comes down to interceptions, fumbles, miscues as far as false starts and penalties and stuff. So he needs to get out of his way, and just sometimes you just got to keep it simple. Sometimes the best option is to just run the damn ball on 3rd and 2. Sometimes the best option is to just check the ball down to a running back. Just a regular check down. You don't have to do all this damn crazy ass stuff that we see them doing. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, man, we got 16 likes in here. But go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you haven't already, check us out, The Heavy Hitters live channel. We almost at 500 monetization. All right, so we need about 2 people. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button over at the Heavy Hitters and help us get to 500. All our post-game shows, and we have guys from Locked On Sports Podcast. We have a different host for each opponent. And a lot of these guys are going to be back towards the end of the year to give their thoughts on a lot of these draft prospects. So, like I said, David Harrison of Locked On Bucks, he was on us. James on Locked On Bucks was here, and we had quite a few people from Locked On, the Locked On podcast. So a lot of these guys are going to be on our platforms. From other channels, the Jacksonville, the Jets. Shout out to all you guys that showed up on the Heavy Hitters live channel. Like I said, we have some good things coming for the people that support Mad Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, the Heavy Hitters, the Unholy Alliance. Shout out to Marcus. A lot of people that have other podcasts, you guys have come on and showing us some love. Recondo, people that have come on our channel and and supported and gave their take. So we appreciate it. But head over to the Heavy Hitters Live to help us get to 500. And like I said, we did this in record time. We did this in 3 months. All this because of you guys. All right. We did this in less than 3 months. Then we got this thing to monetization. So we appreciate everybody for we continuously support Atlanta Falcons Nation, Mad Mike Sports. K-Styles, Jew Talk Sports, man. Like I said, man, Jew was on fire last night. Like I said, a lot of our issues, a lot of our takes on these issues, we have different opinions. A lot of us don't have the same thought process. So, like I said, you more than welcome if you have a different thought process. So, again, check us out on the Heavy Hitters Live channel and support us there. So, but like I said, a lot of these issues, man, when it comes down to the Falcons, I think this is going to be a controversial take. And the more that I think about it, man, I think this is an NFL problem. And this is something that Terrence Mathis and years ago, Tony Dungy, a lot of the older coaches said this. Rex Ryan. A lot of these problems are because they're hiring all these young guys with no experience. They have all these new ideas, and they're trying to redefine what the NFL is. And NFL has always been about toughness, running the ball, smashing another guy in his face, moving another guy against his will, being physical. And now we're trying to run all these quick screens and try to throw the ball 100 yards and down the field to try to make these big plays and, having these crazy athletes at defensive end, the defensive tackles, these guys who are 6'7" and 300 pounds and they can run a 4.34 and all this type of stuff. Like, y'all trying to redefine what the NFL is, and the NFL has always been about physicality and running the ball. And when you try to take that away, we get guys that struggle. You're trying to redefine football with all this pretty, prissy football guys. And, like I even say this when I was looking at, what's good, Pat? The Fed, Marquise, I appreciate you, David Foster. But a lot of the problem with the NFL right now, like you even see it with the Chiefs right now, they too pretty. They've neglected the run, and you see it with the Eagles. What's wrong with the Eagles right now? They neglected what football is and what it's always going to be, physicality. They don't even run the ball anymore. The only time they really focus on the run, and when you're doing that damn dumbass, that goofy ass quarterback sneak, whatever the fuck you call that shit. Got a brain fart right now, but like that's like the Eagles are struggling because they don't run the ball. People try to redefine what the NFL is. They're trying to turn it into college football with a lot of this RPO and spread offense and neglect the classic football. Like, this is what football is. Football will always be about running the ball and moving the guy against his will and solid defense. That tush push, that's what that's called. Blizz, I keep saying that, man. My game plan worked last year. The quarterback wasn't accurate. Run, play action with a deep crosser. And like I said, it's simple, man. Like, I think a lot of these head coaches are under, they're under a lot of pressure because the NFL is trying to push all this pass stuff. They're being told that, like, look, we need to make more money for the NFL. So running the ball 30, 40 times isn't sexy. It's not cool. Like, we've heard it like this past game. I thought the Jets game that was one of the best games the Falcons have had last year. Just like the couple years. Why? Because they ran the ball, they stayed physical, and they kept the game plan simple. and they end up winning. They didn't score a lot of points, but they played solid defense and they ran the ball. And nobody wanted that. They said that shit was boring. We got several people who are probably in here who said that shit was boring as hell. But guess what? We won. We won an ugly game. We scored 25, 26. We scored 25 points in a pretty game, lost. We play ugly, we win. So this is something that K Styles always says. Would you rather lose 45-42, or would you rather win 10-9? Me? Give me 10-9 all the time. Why? Because we winning. I don't give a damn about all them points, man. Like, at the end of the day, if the winning recipe is to be physical, run the ball, and play solid defense, I want to win. Now, and a lot of people wondering, it's like, Mike, you going on and on about this, but you're not talking about Richie Grant. Well, I'm going to get to that. But I wanted to kind of put you guys, on the spotlight. Read a lot of you guys' comments. And Maurice Martin, appreciate your $5 holla. I feel Desmond Ridder can be great. Arthur Smith is holding him back, and he's not developing Ridder. And Ridder is definitely, he definitely has the skill to be great. And I agree, man. I think the thing is too, a lot of people feel as though that the answer to everything is about, having a franchise quarterback. Like, that franchise quarterback, the moniker of every team has a franchise quarterback, is so false. The idea that every team needs and has a franchise quarterback is so false. What a true franchise quarterback is, a guy that's a Hall of Famer. Let's just keep that real. And if you're not a Hall of Famer, you're not a franchise quarterback. Okay, we like to put Trevor Lawrence as a franchise. Why is Trevor Lawrence a franchise quarterback? Why? Because he has skills. I've seen Trevor Lawrence before. I've seen that type of quarterback before. The idea that Falcons need a franchise quarterback is just false. They don't need a franchise quarterback. They need a quarterback that's going to be a part of a system. We up here talking about, we made a mistake by not drafting Justin Fields. Well, the Bears don't even want him. And we're going to talk about that later tonight, too. About the Justin Fields. It's like nobody even want him. Nobody wanted Trey Lance. And everybody said that was a mistake that the Falcons didn't draft them. Well, the team that drafted it don't want him. So why is it a mistake? Because the Falcons don't draft guys. We're never, like I said, franchise quarterbacks, that term is being loose. A lot of this is a lot of this shit, let's just keep this real, is because of Todd McShay and that goddamn Mel Kiper. Cause they use these terms so fucking every year. This is the greatest draft of all time. And this is the greatest prospect I've ever seen in 25 years since John Madden and all this bullshit. They sell all these fucking dreams on TV. And then all of these guys never live up to the hype. Trevor Lawrence is not even living up to the hype. He can't stay healthy. He's not what they thought he would be. And we're supposed to believe that Justin Fields and all the other guys are supposed to be the greatest talents of all time? So I do believe he's doing a good job with Desmond Ridder. I don't think he's doing a bad job. To say that Desmond Ridder or Arthur Smith is doing a bad job as a coach is just not true, because we're clearly seeing the entire offense improving. The problem is that they do things at the absolute worst time to say, what the fuck? Turning the ball over. Fumbling the ball, 2 fumbles again because of those things. Desmond Ridder getting pressured. Why? Because he's passing the ball too much. We literally just had a game where we went back to the basics, got everything wrong, and he put him right back in the position where he got to pass the ball 30, 40 times. And like I said, the sad part about this is that Bijan Robinson is improving as a running back, and you take that away and then say, all right, he's improving as a running back, let's throw the ball now. Bijan improving as a running back. We got Tyler Algier. We got Cordero Patterson. Guess what? We're not going to use any one of them. See, a lot of these things will make a lot of legendary coaches great isn't the fact that they are smarter than other guys. A lot of times they're just more logical than a lot of coaches, and they don't allow their ego to get in. They don't allow their egos to get the best of them. For example, I was talking about this with Bill Belichick. The thing with Bill Belichick, it's not that he does a lot of smart things, or he's just this, smartest guy and all this type of stuff. Sometimes Bill Belichick do the most logical thing. Run the ball on 4th and 2 instead of trying to spread them out and go at the best part of the defense. You don't see if he playing Baltimore Ravens, he got Haloti Ngata in the middle of the field. He don't do dumb shit like spread them out and run a dive right at Haloti Ngata. No, he's gonna run around. He's gonna do everything to go around Haloti Ngata, their best run defender, instead of challenging them. But a lot of these coaches, they be so egotistical and try to, outshine or outcoach another coach. They put their team in bad positions. There was no reason to sit up here and throw the damn ball in max protection, knowing damn well that Todd Bowles likes the blitz. All you had to do was use Tyler Algier, use Cordero Patterson, use Bijan Robinson, run the damn ball, get a little bit more space, use your offensive line. No. You gonna throw the damn ball into. A lot of that, see, Bill Belichick don't do things to put himself in bad positions. That's what bad coaches do. They do dumb shit to put themselves and their players in bad positions. See, Tab, I love you to death, but you've been on some dumb shit lately too. See, this is where a lot of fans show that they're fans and they really not taking the time out to think. And I know this I love you to death, bro, but this is exactly why fans should stay in their place. It's because you don't take the time to think. Why would you not want Arthur Smith to go to the playoffs? Why would you not want this want this team to go to the playoffs. That's stupid as fuck. These guys need as much experience as possible. How are you going to learn how to get to the playoffs or what it takes to win Super Bowls if you don't get to the playoffs? These guys have to learn somehow. You're not going to learn how to be a damn quarterback running the damn rock. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to learn how to win if you don't actually win. You got to actually go through the process. These guys got to get to that point. These guys got to get in the playoffs. Matt Ryan had to play himself into learning how to win and learning how to win playoff games. Because before then, everybody say, oh, Matt Ryan couldn't play. He couldn't win a playoff game. Especially after losing, what was it, 20, I forget what it was. But 21-2 or something like that against the Giants. Say, oh, Matt Ryan couldn't have, they couldn't win. He couldn't get to the playoffs. He couldn't get to the playoffs. Guess what? They got to the playoffs. They couldn't score. And Matt Ryan say, like, look, you got to prepare yourself for those moments. So in order for this Falcons team to go to the next level, whether it's offensive, defensively, and coaching, you got to get there. So I want this team to win. I want them to get to the playoffs. Even if they lose, they need to get there. You're only going to get that experience by actually going through it. Look, everybody, just stop right here. Stop right now. Okay? You're dumb too. I'm dumb too. Arthur's dumb too. Desmond is dumb. Every person in this world gonna do dumb shit. I don't know what we get this idea that somebody's not going to do something dumb. Where do we get this idea that coaches, just because you're in the NFL, you're not going to make mistakes. You're not going to make dumb mistakes over and over and over and over. In order to become an expert, you got to fucking fail. Tom Brady didn't become one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time by succeeding all the damn time. He was a fucking, look, it took, anybody know the Michigan story about? Anybody know the story, Michigan story on Tom Brady? Yeah, he sucked. It was so bad that Tom Brady couldn't even get no more than 6 snaps at practice. Yeah, he sucked. Tom Brady sucked, okay? So everybody feels as though it's just like, guys, just because you're in the NFL, you're not going to make mistakes. And, look, I fucked up plenty of times. I fucked up plenty of times in this shit. Made plenty of mistakes that cost my channel and cost me money. Yeah, made plenty of mistakes. But learned from them mistakes and got better. So all this idea that, oh, I don't want Arthur Smith with it. I want somebody else who's going to be smarter. Well, that other guy that guy who we bring in, he going to do some dumb shit. That player that we bring in, he going to have a dumbass moment. We seen Michael Vick have dumbass and stupid moments where he trying to, he got 5-6 guys coming after him. So instead of him throwing the damn ball away, he running behind the damn backfield 15-20 yards trying to make a play. All you had to do is just throw the damn ball out of the end zone and live to fight another day. These things happen to even the greatest prospects and the greatest coaches. You're not going to get over dumb shit. Nobody in this world is going to get over dumb shit. It's going to happen. The Falcons have to go through a period where they got to learn from these stupid mistakes. All the way from the owner, the team president, and Rich McKay, to Terry Fontenot, to Arthur Smith, to Desmond Ridder, to Drake London, all these guys got to learn. You're never going to become great by doing every damn thing right. There's no such thing as a perfect prospect. There's no such thing as a perfect coach. There's no such thing as a perfect athlete. Michael Jordan failed over and over and over and over again. LeBron James failed over and over and over again until he learns, like, look, this is what the fuck I got to do in order for me to be great. Why is it that we think just because it's not what we want, that other people don't have to go through the process to get to become great? In order to become great, you got to work on the shit that you don't do well. And a lot of times you're going to fall flat on your fucking face over and over and over again. How you doing, John? You're going to fall on your face over and over and over again until you finally learn. I mean, enough of you goddamn... And the crazy part about this, you a gamer, Tev. I'm really disappointed in you. You a gamer. You didn't become a damn game expert right off the bat. No, you fucked up and you died in the... If anybody who played Grand Theft Auto and all this shit, you got to get used to the controls and all that type of shit. You don't come out the motherfucking gate, just killing the shit. No, you got to learn. If I do this, if I stay behind this too long, this person gonna do this and do that. You got to learn different techniques. It's the same thing in life. It's the same thing in football. It's the same thing in coaching. People got to go through that grind, bro. Everybody fucking human. But for whatever reason, nobody wants to understand the fact that these guys are going to fuck up. Arthur is going to fuck up. He's going to make mistakes, and he is making stupid mistakes. And a lot of times, even with Arthur Blank did one thing. He said it himself. He got way too involved in football operations, and he kept a lot of guys around that shouldn't have been kept. But guess what? Hopefully he's learned from that. We'll see. But he had to fail to even get to that point. Look, man, a lot of our issues is that, look, a lot of us just, we want to sit up here and pretend like we got over 28-3, but a lot of us still reliving at 28-3. We want this shit to be over now because we tired of getting clowned. Keep it real, people. A lot of people are upset because we can't get over 28-3 and losing that Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, bro, you got to allow these kids, bro. These guys are 24, 25, 26. They still figuring themselves out. And we expect these dudes to come out the gate and be mega stars. That shit don't work, bro. To achieve, one must fall flat on their face to rebound to stability. And that's the thing. Why does everybody forget that the greatest coach is one of the greatest coaches? He's regarded as the greatest coach of all time, got his ass fired. And that's Bill Belichick. Bill Parcells, he failed too. He failed too. Jordan failed plenty of times. LeBron failed plenty of times. Look, see, and this is another dumbass comment. I really like. It's the easiest schedule look. Who told y'all this is the easy? Football ain't nothing easy about football. Who the hell told y'all that? Have you ever, look, it's a reason why it's called Any Given Sunday. They literally made a football term off of a movie off of that. Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, anybody can get that work. Because it's some computer told us that it's the easiest schedule, or last year's record told us that it's the easiest schedule. Sometimes a team just own their shit that day. Sometimes you just don't have it, bro. Sometimes you wake up in the morning, it's like, bro, I don't want to do nothing. And your body just won't, sometimes your body and your mind won't let you. I know we've all had them moments where our body and our minds is like, bro, I'm trying, but this shit is not working today. That shit happens in sports. That shit happens in life. But for whatever reason, people think, nope, it can't happen to our football team. But like I said, at the end of the day, bro, shit happens. These guys have to fail. They have to go through this period. And like I said, hopefully this Atlanta Falcons organization, Arthur Smith, Arthur Blank, and Rich McKay, they've learned from these mistakes, and they know, look, we can't keep every damn year. We can't keep trying to train, like fire this coach and fire that coach and bring in another quarterback. Bro, look, if we decide to go to another quarterback, this has been 4 straight years with a different quarterback. And we expect to win, keep changing head coaches, keep changing. Bro, what is, like, that is not the recipe for success. Deshaun Thomas, that's true, but as a leader, I would love to see growth from my head coach, but the narrative hasn't changed. No, the narrative haven't changed from your standpoint because you focus on one particular thing. Arthur has improved as a coach. It just ain't the aspects that y'all care about. It's just not the aspects that you care about. And that's the problem. A lot of our shit is really just a lot of our shit is really our problems where we try to mask it and put the blame on one person when it's really our issues. You don't want to see the growth in this team. You don't want to see the growth in a guy like, let's just see. Look, for one, I can tell you right off the bat where he's improved. Let's go to the quarterback position. Desmond Ridder. How many times did people say he could never throw? How many times you guys have said to yourself, I don't see Desmond Ridder passing for 300 yards pass and rushing for a touchdown and throwing for the touchdown? How many people can say that you've actually seen, you said that to yourself, that Desmond Ridder, I don't think he got it. And next thing you know, this is like the 3rd time this year that he's passed for 300 yards. People said he couldn't do that. That he couldn't develop players. Well, anybody saw Ryan Newsome? Anybody seen Ryan Newsome yesterday? The center? Nobody even noticed the fact that Drew Dalman wasn't even in the game. Why? Because Ryan Newsome did his damn job. Anybody saw Hinton? The kid Hinton at right guard? Anybody seen Tyler Vrabel, the one that we said that didn't have anything? Did anybody notice that Tyler Vrabel actually played well when we lost? Jake Matthews. Anybody notice that we didn't even notice that Tyler Vrabel was at left tackle yesterday? You see what I'm saying? This is why I say the coach is doing well, but just not in the way that we're expecting. We didn't even realize the full quarter of that game. We didn't even realize that our whole line was out. We didn't even realize that our whole offensive line, because those guys played well together. You didn't even focus on the fact that he turned a guy like the tight end, and then Michael Pruitt. Like, we turned Michael Pruitt into a productive tight end. The defensive side of the ball, Ebiketie looked like he's gonna be pretty good. So it's aspects of this team where he's showing you that he's a good coach, and he's a good coach that can develop players, but we don't care because it's not what we want. And a lot of times the owners and the general managers fall victim to this stuff, to the pressure of the media and the fans, because we don't care about the lack of the development of the third and fourth corner, of like looking at a guy like Nate Landman. Nobody cares about Nate Landman. Arthur Smith was one of those guys. Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, all those guys were responsible for these players. The Clark Phillips III. Like, Falcons are finding all these players and they're developing, but we want to fire the head coach because our offense ain't scoring 30 points a game. Like, we're going to put ourselves right back in the hole trying to figure out how we going to build a defense because we so impatient, because we want to score 30 points now. We want Kyle Pitts to have 100 catches a year and 10 touchdowns and shit. We don't even realize that a Nate Landman is becoming a damn good linebacker, and we really had trouble stopping the run yesterday with him out. Like, a lot of this stuff is just becoming it's because of our own thing, our own preferences. And like I said, a lot of this stuff, man, like, we just got to call a spade a lot of times. A lot of shit we all be saying sometimes is dumb as hell, because a lot of times it's not what we prefer or how we prefer a team to be built or how long or how patient we should or shouldn't be. Sometimes players develop at a pace that's not going to be up to our liking, and quite frankly, this is the issue with our fan base. It's not the fact that a lot of our players are bad, it's just they're not getting it as quickly as we thought, because we want to win a championship. We want to become champions now. Dan Campbell, yeah, that's another mafia. That's 6-32. You think because he's 26-32 that they should just fire him right now? That's crazy as hell. You setting yourself back because he's not winning at the pace that you want him to. They're not showing you what you want, and they're not living up to your expectations. So we should just, get rid of this guy or trade this guy and fire this guy because he's not doing it the way we want and how we want. This team is going to be okay. But as a fan base, we just got to be patient. It's not going to be as quickly. I see guys like Kevin Knight tweeting out, this is the end of Desmond Ridder. It could very well be that. It could very well be this is the last hurrah for Arthur Smith. Dave Ragone. Why? Because the media and the fans, they are hell bent, and they're going to make your life a living hell. They're going to make the Falcons' life a living hell until they get what they want. And at the end of the day, what they want is the Falcons to be another. They want the Falcons to have another Michael Vick. Everybody won when it come down to how they felt. They got excitement. They made a ton of money from Michael Vick. This is the only reason why the NFL is so upset with the Atlanta Falcons and why they continuously bash them is because they cannot make money off of you guys. And it's time for fans to understand that. They don't care shit about the Falcons winning. They want to be able to market a guy that's like Michael Vick. They want a spectacular Negro to come down into the South. Well, a lot of this is Hollywood East, okay? This is Hollywood East, and a lot of people are already moving down here, and they can make plenty of money off of black people and a black culture and a black player. Why you think they love Patrick Mahomes so much? Y'all think they love Patrick Mahomes because he's a great quarterback? No, because white people love him and black people love him. It's a win-win situation for them. Just being real. It's socially acceptable to be a black quarterback in the NFL now. Oh, that's real. It's socially acceptable to be a black quarterback in the NFL. Nobody gives a shit about Running Cunningham. Nobody gives a shit about Steve McNair. Nobody gives a fuck about Warren Moon. Why? Because in that time, it was socially unacceptable. It was unacceptable to like or have a black quarterback at that position. Now it's popular. And black people at this point in time, they gonna go to Georgia. They gonna go to Alabama. They gonna go to the Falcons. They gonna go to the Patriots. Or they gonna go to the Steelers and watch that black quarterback. Look, like I said, I'm just being real, bro. That's the only reason why they want a black quarterback here in Atlanta. That's why. This is the reason why. You heard it on ESPN. Go back and listen to those ESPN takes on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has a whole website called Lamar Jackson Fans. Look, tell me when I'm wrong. Lamar Jackson has a whole website where Lamar Jackson Fans. They know people love Lamar. They know black people love Lamar. They know still to this day, if you go to a Falcons event and Michael Vick comes there, it's going to be a field house, bro. So I'm not saying Desmond Ridder isn't, or he is the answer. All I know for sure is that the culture, the fans want Michael Vick, the media wants Michael Vick, and they're going to make Arthur Smith, Arthur Blank's life a living hell until they get that. They want that feeling. They want that experience again until they get it, until they bring in a player, a quarterback that makes them feel that again. And when they make that much money, like Michael Vick made the NFL so much money. This dude has so many endorsements, shoes, video games. He was the first NFL quarterback in the history of the game to be paid $100 million. They do not care. They don't give a damn about winning. They don't care if the Falcons win. This is not about winning for them. It's time for us as just people to understand when we getting played by the media. Y'all getting played by the media, bro. They don't give a damn about you. They trying to make $1 million. Why you think Shannon Sharpe is on ESPN? Y'all getting played, bro. Y'all think they hired Shannon Sharpe because he's an eloquent and smart and intelligent guy? No, the fuck he not. Hey, I'll take that back. He's a smart, intelligent guy, but him and Stephen A. Smith are still with ESPN because they know people, and black people in particular, they gonna support whatever Shannon Sharpe, because guess what? Shannon Sharpe represents us. Stephen A. Smith, they represent us. Michael Vick, they represent us. Just saying. Like I said, no, it ain't gonna. A lot of people ain't gonna like what I got to say, but it's the truth. And as far as a lot of times you don't even know what. Like I said, a lot of times we don't even know it until. And a lot of times you don't even know it until you actually get it, because your whole demeanor and statements change. And like I said, we see this all the time. We see it all the time as content creators, because we have to, we really have to. And like I said, man, a lot of this thing, when they even come down to Richie Grant, and like I said, as far as Richie Grant is concerned, man, I think something has to be done about this. Something about Richie Grant is costing this team, and it's so bad. It's like he's getting beat by tight ends that run like a 4.5. This dude can't even guard tight ends. This dude can't even guard a tight end that runs a 4.5. How do you get turned around by a guy that runs a 4.5? He's a freaking tight end, bro. What it's the same thing over and over every week with Richie Grant. No matter where you put him, every time in the fourth quarter, teams need a touchdown, they go immediately at him. He's a problem. And the Falcons at this point, they got to do something about it. We talk about every other player. And all the coaches, and Arthur needs to be fired because he dumb stuff. We need to draft a new quarterback. Well, Richie Grant is a problem. It's to the point where Richie Grant, for me personally, I just know fourth quarter come, that's what's gonna happen. The second half, when they are in 2 minutes, I know they're gonna attack the middle of the field for a big play. They're gonna go right at Richie Grant and like clockwork. It happens every time. At some point, what I'm doing, I'm putting DeMarco Hellens right there. It's too much of a problem. He's too much of a liability. This dude would play 3 quarters solid, and then the fourth quarter comes, he looks like absolute shit. He getting beat. He's not even getting beat by wide receivers. He getting beat by slow ass tight ends. And like I said, a lot of this, all this, we need to fire guys and all this type of shit, man. I don't think firing Arthur Smith is the way to go. Now, if the players come out and say we don't believe in what he's teaching anymore, and that's the thing, the reason why Dan Quinn got fired, they weren't going to fire Dan Quinn, but the team just wasn't buying his system anymore. They just stopped believing what he was preaching. And I don't think the Falcons at this point have tuned Arthur Smith out. When I start seeing players tune him out, then I say it. But right now, I still think that they believe in Arthur Smith. So until that happens, I don't see Arthur Smith being fired or going anywhere. And this is why I say this is unfortunate for Desmond Ridder. In my opinion, this is where things are going to go. I think the Falcons are going to trade Desmond Ridder. They're going to either trade him, that's one thing. They're going to hire a new offensive coordinator or a guy that's an offensive specialist, a consultant that to come in and oversee Arthur Smith. Or they'll draft a quarterback that can come in, run the RPO or a version of that RPO, and he's more of a mobile quarterback, and the Falcons will, until he's ready to until he's ready to take that next step, the Falcons are going to rely on the running game and defense. So again, I think this is what would have happened for the Falcons coming in this draft. I think they'll end up. It's quite possible that they trade. It's quite possible, most likely, they'll keep Desmond Ridder at quarterback. But they have to bring in another offensive mind to help Arthur, because he's clearly in over his head right now. He and Dave Ragone are clearly in over their head. They're thinking way too much. So he needs a guy that's going to come in, help him oversee the offense, tell them what they need to improve in, and where they need to make the necessary changes, and draft a quarterback in the draft that we obviously know he's a mobile quarterback and he can use his legs, a lot like Justin Fields, use his legs, and the Falcons just rely on the running game. But I don't see them trading for a first round and the second round, they first round picks this year, next year to get, a quarterback like a Caleb Williams. I don't see that happening. But hey, anything is possible. The Falcons Arthur Blank could be like, look, I don't believe in Desmond. I don't believe in any of these guys as far as the NFL is concerned, that I like trading for Justin Fields. He probably don't believe in him, or whoever the guy may be. And we'll talk about that scenario tonight. I think you guys will love that. But the Falcons could very well, changes are going to be made at the coaching position and at the quarterback position. But I don't know whether or not it's going to be keeping Ridder or drafting a quarterback. That's to be determined, and the rest of the season is going to play into that. So if Ridder comes in and he gets worse as a quarterback, I think he's gone for sure. But if he continues to play how he's been playing, showing a little bit of improvement, I think they'll keep him around and just draft another quarterback, or just bring in a veteran quarterback that can run the offense. Do you see Terry Fontenot draft another safety this year? If we, I say yeah, man. Richie is a fucking problem, man. Richie is just a damn problem. He's just not it. He got all the potential, but he's just so fucking stupid. He does some of the dumbest shit at the wrong time. So I see the Falcons drafting a safety maybe in the second or the first round. I could see that happening. But in my opinion, it'll more than likely be a defensive tackle or an edge that they draft. I just don't think they're in a position for a franchise quarterback, unless they really believe in Arnold Ebiketie. I think it's more likely than an edge or a defensive tackle that they'll go get, and then the second and third round they'll draft a safety, or potentially trade up to get a safety. But I think they have to improve that safety position. Nah, I wouldn't trade no Russell Wilson. I'm not. He making too much money. That's like $40 to $50 million. If you trade for Russell Wilson, you're not going. Like chances are that an AJ Terrell is not going to be here. Chances are that we're going to have to lose a lot of our defensive guys. So I'm not trading for a quarterback. A veteran quarterback at this moment. That's too much money that you have to allocate towards him. Yeah, I think Charles Phillips is has the potential to be a great corner. I think he's already proven to me in the last couple of games that he has that dog in him, man. That dude is a dog. I think Clark Phillips is. I think that dude is a dog, bro. So they're gonna make it difficult on AJ to to live up to that contract, because you got Phillips that just looks like he wanted, bro. D offered and Phillips look like they want it. So the Falcons are not in a position where they no, I got you, Biz. But I think they're gonna make it hard on AJ, because that corner position is already an elite position, elite skill position that pays a lot of money. And the Falcons are in a position where they don't need AJ Terrell. That may sound crazy as hell, me saying that, but I think you can get by past on the AJ Terrell if you continue to add to your trenches, drafting defensive tackles and edge guys that can get after the quarterback. You keep investing in your trenches, you can pass on guys. You can pass on these defensive backs. And like I said, I love AJ. I think he deserves his money. But the thing is, the Falcons are built right now where they don't need him. And like I said, and when you got a safety like Jesse Bates, man, that makes it even harder to pay a AJ, because you got an elite safety that can scratch a lot of stuff that the corners, the mistakes that corners make. So like I said, I don't think the Falcons are in a position where they need to pay AJ. They don't need to pay AJ. Excuse me. And then you got obviously you have Drake London. He's looked like he's developing as a wide receiver, and you're going to eventually have to pay him, or potentially Kyle Pitts. So I don't think the Falcons have a lot of money that they can just throw around. Yeah, and like Big Ant says, like I'm not willing to sacrifice my defense in order to sign one player, bro. Like me personally, I'm just not. I love defense. And that's how you win games. And like I said, the thing is too, I don't think the Falcons want to draft a quarterback. All right, I don't think they want to do that. But the thing is, and this is what I said even last night, Desmond Ridder is not helping himself because he's making the same mistakes that's causing people to question him to begin with. He's not helping himself. Now, granted that he still is a young quarterback, and he's clearly stated, and I said yesterday, yeah, I'm proud of that dude, because those are the moments in a player's career where it's like, look, it's do or die. You got to step up and make a play. Desmond Ridder started the game off slow, bad, and we was like, oh, here we go again. But he and Arthur Smith, they put it together, they focused, and in the fourth quarter, they came back. But too bad our defense, gave it away. But those are the moments where players step up and they prove that they belong. So Desmond Ridder belongs in this league. He's a damn good quarterback. But when you have the media and the fans that do look, they're at this point, the fans, not all, not everybody, but there's a lot of fans and a lot of media people. They're gonna make it their look. They are obligated. They're gonna make it. A habit of continuously shitting on Desmond Ridder and shitting on Arthur Smith until they get the quarterback of their liking. They're gonna make their team a living hell until they get their guys. Do you see us drafting the tight end Brock Bowers? I don't, man. I would love Brock. To be honest, I think the perfect scenario for the Atlanta Falcons is to draft Brock Bowers. I think if the Falcons were smart to have Kyle Pitts, I think it's two things with Brock Bowers I think is interesting with the Atlanta Falcons. One, drafting Brock Bowers to be the replacement of Kyle Pitts if you feel as though that he needs a change of scenery, and it's just not working here in Atlanta. And then he becomes trade bait because I believe that he still has potential, and it may be one of those situations where he needs a change of scenery and he needs to be with another team. And you can get possibly a first rounder, and a second rounder for him because he still has the potential. He's still young and he still has the athleticism. And you draft Brock Bowers to eventually, essentially be that replacement of a Kyle Pitts. He's a much better route runner than Kyle Pitts, and I love Kyle Pitts to death, but he's not a polished route runner. Brock Bowers is a polished route runner, and he'll fit in immediately in his offense. He will block. I think he's more of a polished player than Kyle Pitts is right now in his career. And that's not really Kyle's fault. It's really those coaches at Florida. They really didn't teach him how to be a tight end. They just said, go out and be athletic. They really didn't teach him anything. So Arthur right now is teaching him how to be a tight end, and a lot of people just they don't like it. They just say he's a super athlete and go be a super athlete. That's what they want Kyle Pitts to do. And Arthur is trying to teach him how to be a complete player. But two, I think Brock Bowers I think Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts duo, if you can somehow put those guys together, I don't think this offense could be guarded if you put those guys in the offense together. So if there was a scenario where Brock dropped somewhere near the 20s, I see the Falcons drafting him, and then for the rest of the draft, you just go all defensive line and all defense, and go from there. But I do see that the Falcons, if they needed, Brock Bowers is the perfect. I just think Brock Bowers and this offense is meant for each other. I think it's perfect, especially for Arthur, because he likes to use his tight ends. So I think it's a perfect fit for Brock Bowers. That's with or without Kyle Pitts. But yeah, Jacob, I don't see him going past 5. Like, that dude is a fucking athlete. Look, this dude is a freak of nature, bro. I've never seen a tight end that damn good this early. Like, he's just a fucking animal, man. This dude run like a 4.4. Like, that's sick. To be that great at running routes and run that fast, like, this dude can take a slant and outrun DBs. Like, that shit is nasty, bro. So, like I said, I don't see him dropping past 5. And like I said, Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts together, look, that shit is just fucking disgusting. Man, him and Kyle Pitts together with Drake London, DBs just pray. Just pray. Okay? That's the best thing you do, is pray to God if you got those 3 together. But I see, like I said, I'm not just saying that Brock Bowers. I think another tight end in this offense would be great, because I think what needs to happen in order to maximize Kyle Pitts' ability, get him off of being a consistent tight end as far as the blocking and all that. Just let him be a pass catcher, because maybe that is the answer. And drafting a tight end to essentially replace Jonnu or replace Kyle Pitts underneath, and then you can, sign other tight ends to kind of be the 3rd, 4th tight end. Like I said, I think that's perfect. And like I said, now you can do whatever you want to do with Kyle Pitts, inside, outside, and then you have a guy like Brock or another tight end that's essentially take up that physicality that at times Kyle lacks. But that boy, he gotta go. Jared, would you be shocked if Ritter is the 2024 starter? I wouldn't. And I like to think about things before I say it. I wouldn't be surprised, because I think the Falcons know that he can do it, but I don't think the Falcons are going to be allowed to keep him. And what I mean by that, I just think the fans, the media, they are so turned off by Arthur and Desmond Ritter, and it's really not their fault. A lot of it is their fault, but mostly it's because of again, people just haven't gotten over 28-3, and they have not gotten over Michael Vick. Like, even Matt Ryan, he's here. Like, every time, well, he's no Michael Vick. He's no Michael Vick. And any quarterback at this point in time, if he doesn't resemble Michael Vick, I think a lot of fans, and not most, but a lot of fans are just going to naturally, just not, they're naturally just not going to like any quarterback that's not similar to Michael Vick. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's here, because I think he is a quarterback, a good quarterback. Is he going to be a franchise quarterback? Well, a lot of people like to use that term. I hate that term, to be honest, because, like, honestly, I think there's no such thing as a franchise quarterback. I don't think there's a such thing as a franchise quarterback, and trading Tom Brady is proof that, and trading a guy like Matt Ryan is proof, and then trading a guy like Peyton Manning is proof that there's no such thing as a franchise quarterback. That term is bullshit. There's no such thing as a franchise quarterback, because if it was, you wouldn't see Joe Montana being traded. You wouldn't see teams letting a Tom Brady just walk, letting Matt Ryan, trading Matt Ryan for what, a second round pick. There's no such thing as a franchise quarterback. But for whatever reason, fans buy into that ESPN bullshit about, oh, you need a franchise quarterback. Nope, you need a quarterback that's just gonna sell y'all tickets. So I don't believe in a franchise quarterback. I hate that fucking term, because it's not true. We traded Matt Ryan. We traded Mike Vick. There's no such thing as a franchise quarterback at all. Do we keep Van Jefferson? Absolutely not. He's gone. See, Michael Williams, I would actually prefer that you get your own penis, okay? Because you've been on mine for quite some time now. All right, so just get your own penis, sir. I don't think people understand what hyping guys up. I thought that's what you're supposed to do in football. Like, you're supposed to give guys, positives and negatives. But according to Michael Williams, who doesn't have his own penis, somebody get him a strap on, because I think that's his problem. He doesn't have his own penis, so maybe he just needs a strap on, because he continues to talk about Mike and Sam and Chauncey, and then you ask him to come on the show, and then he runs like a little but maybe I'll buy you. Just send me your address, put your address, and I'll mail you a strap on, because clearly you need one. But like I said, I don't believe in franchise quarterbacks, because like I said, anybody can get traded at any given time. And like I said, if Tom Brady, who's regarded as the greatest quarterback of all time, can, pretty much just thrown to the wayside and say, all right, go to Tampa Bay, why would I want to trade all my draft picks for a guy that supposedly is a franchise quarterback? If that's your guy, you need to live and die by him. No quarterback is above, and we've seen that, over a franchise. So why would I think that the Falcons should just give up everything for a quarterback? And it's just not true. We just saw Seattle again. Seattle traded Russell Wilson. He was regarded as their franchise quarterback, and then they ended up trading him. There's no such thing as a franchise quarterback. And Justin Fields is another example. They were regarded as a franchise quarterback. Now, I asked Tom from Atlanta Sports Unlimited. He does the Pigskins and Jocks. He and Dave. So shout out to those guys. I actually, fill in for those guys, substitute for those guys over there on Saturdays at times. But Saturdays at 12. So shout out to those guys. Chris too. Terrence Mathis, as well as William Brandon. So shout out to all you guys over there at Atlanta Sports Unlimited. But like a lot of times, man, a lot of times, like I said, I just think like I said, a lot of times when it comes down to just how teams oh my God. Hey y'all, so Penisless Williams says a man living in Atlanta can't take criticism, and talking about penis, I'm not surprised. Every time someone tries to debate you, always run and make up fake stats saying you do research. First of all, Penis Williams, when has Mad Mike or anybody in AFN made up fake stats? I didn't know I can make up fake stats. It's like we actually show you guys where they come from. So, Penis Williams, I appreciate your comment though. Maurice, do you think we should draft a receiver and put a opposite Drake London and then draft a defensive end, defense and offensive lineman replacement for Jake Matthews? I think so. I think it's time for Jake. That's to start replacing Jake. He, like I said, I think he's at this point where we have to start looking to the future, man. And like this past game was proof to me that the Falcons offensive line coach, Dwayne Ledford, is actually doing his damn job, because the offensive line did terrific against one of the better aggressive defensive fronts there is. So, you know, I think it's time to start looking towards the future as far as that left tackle and possibly right tackle. And the Falcons have shown you that they can develop offensive linemen. With Matt Bergeron, you know, Ryan Newsler did a pretty good job yesterday. So the Falcons have actually done a good job of developing offensive linemen. So I say, yeah, start looking for that guy. And even with the money with Jake, those guys can potentially use that money and throw it to a, you know, defensive lineman. Like, we can use that money for Jake and you know, use that money for Jake and bring in the defensive edge, or trade for a draft pick and bring in another linebacker. But as far as a wide receiver, I say draft a wide receiver, but not in the first round. I see the middle of the rounds, second, third, fourth. I see the Falcons drafting a wide receiver that fits more of what we're trying to do now. Because I don't think Mac, Scotty, those guys fit. I think they fit, but until they find, like I said, I think they want their guys at this point. So I say, yeah, a wide receiver, but not in the first round. But for sure, I think the Falcons need another edge. And I think Grady will be back. He'll be back next year, but I think they'll bring in another veteran defensive tackle until Grady is back. And he'll most likely be back towards the middle of the season or towards the end of the season. So the Falcons are going to have to bring in another defensive tackle until Grady gets back from his torn ACL. What do we do in the trenches right now if Street injury is bad? Yeah, Street is out for the season. That's just my take on it. Appreciate you, Till. Man, I don't know, man. You can't make a trade, obviously. So I think now they may have to just ride what they got, but I think they got to go out and maybe talk to a veteran. Whether it's a edge or oh man, because even right now, Onyemata is not healthy, so I think they have to bring in a veteran defensive tackle because I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready right now. Well, I know that Calais Campbell can't take the constant physicality inside that the Falcons need. But Taquan was getting his ass destroyed. So I don't know what happened to Taquan Graham, but I see him gone next year. I just don't think he's a fit. And it's new. But Huggins did well. But I think they go out and get either a solid edge, or they got to go out and draft a veteran defensive tackle that's played. And all of this shit would not be a problem if it wasn't for that damn Eddie Goldman. Can't make up his fucking mind. It's like, and hopefully he's not, it's not a mental issue, but I just like, Eddie Goldman just left a sour taste in my mouth, man. Will future potential free agents starting this offseason still? Oh, hell yeah. This Falcon defense, man, look, once you see a defense that top 10s, man, look, players want to play in this style of defense. They want to be aggressive. They want to be able to free flow. And that's the thing with the Falcons and what they have with Jerry Gray and Ryan Nielsen. These guys have already, when you're a top 10, when you're a top 10 defense like this, man, I think players recognize that type of stuff. So I don't think the Falcons will have any issues getting players to come play in this system. I think they'll be fine, man. And check out Coach Unchanged. He's already started looking at players, as far as the draft is concerned, and we're going to continue to update our drafts as well as myself, K Styles, for sure. For me, if I already started the quarterback process, but Coach Unchained, check him out. He's already started the draft process. He actually dropped a couple of videos over the weekend of the prospects that he sees that it is a possible fit for the Atlanta Falcons coming up. But like I said, for me, at the end of the day, man, I think the Falcons will be fine. I think they'll be fine. And it's just a process. And we got a lot of content creators just like, look, I can't take this shit any longer. It's like, I get it. I get it. I get everybody's frustration. But this shit is nothing has ever been overnight. All right. The long-term champions, when we talk about longevity, whether it's the Lakers, especially the Lakers, and then you got teams like you got Philadelphia Eagles, you have the Dallas Cowboys, you have the Steelers. A lot of these teams, man, like, it wasn't overnight. These teams took time. They built their guys. They drafted well. They signed guys. They brought in the right coaches. It's like none of this stuff was just built overnight. So I think we just have to be patient, man. Campbell, you think Campbell is coming back? What Campbell? I hope you ain't talking about Devondre Campbell. Oh, no. Calais Campbell. Ooh, Lord. Well, you scared me there. Ain't no microwave piece. Yeah, and like I said, man, I'm not here to tell people, not to have certain, feelings as far as, being upset about how things are going. But we will tell you and ourselves, and we tell ourselves all the time, that's some dumbass shit that you said. And a lot of times this shit do be dumb. Like, we can't be firing guys every 2 years because you want to win now. Like, that shit is not the recipe for success on any type of level in life or in football. You can't every year you want a new quarterback. That shit is crazy, right? Ain't goddamn look. That's the crazy thing. Y'all act like Tiana Trump and all these goddamn other damn like y'all want to get dick after dick after dick. Oh, that don't work. That ain't curvy enough. Or this girl, her booty ain't big enough. Or she too skinny. Or he, like, come on, bro. Like, that shit. Every time the shit don't fit the way that we want it, we want to start getting rid of it. And that shit just don't work like that. You have to stick with something and work with it. Cultivate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to cultivate it. You have to go through a process. You gotta give them time to find themselves as players and as coaches. And this shit is not gonna happen overnight. And like I said, I do want Richie Grant to succeed, but at this point in time, what's best for the Atlanta Falcons is to draft and bring somebody else who's going to contend with him and push him, because we cannot continue to have this dude. All right. Yeah, Marino. Like I said, Dan Marino was just a freak of nature. But like even him, he went to the Super Bowl his rookie year, but like he didn't go back. This shit ain't guaranteed, bro. Steelers draft Joe Green in 69 and Pete Steele. They didn't even win their first playoff game until 72. 3 years, bro. Mm-hmm. 3 years. It took them 3 freaking years to like figure out and find themselves. It takes time. Jaden Daniels, I'm gonna get on that, but as far as Jaden Daniels, man, look, anybody who knows anything about, and I'm usually right on point with quarterbacks. It's very few times that I've actually been wrong about quarterbacks. Just because a guy's a Heisman and just because a guy looks good in college don't actually mean he's going to be good in NFL. I haven't seen a lot of Jaden Daniels, his complete body of work. From what I've seen so far, it reminds me of Justin Fields. It just reminds me of everything that I've seen in Trey Lance and a lot of these quarterbacks that has come into the NFL recently. And like I said, what makes a great quarterback is not the ability to play well in college. It's not the ability to put up a bunch of numbers in college. It's not his ability to win the Heisman. What makes a great quarterback is the small things. That dog, does he have that dog in him? All right. When things are not going well, I need him to scream, yell, holler, cuss his teammates out, say the right things, when to run, know when to do the small things. He's physically ready for the game. Like a lot of these things that when you look at a lot of quarterbacks, and even when you look at Lamar Jackson, the reason why Lamar Jackson is even a NFL quarterback right now is because he has what we call about he has that dog in him, because he ready to prove. He came out of college ready to prove himself. Look, I belong in here. So he has that mentality. So until I see a quarterback that one, he has that mentality, he has that dog in him. He can do the small, he can check the ball down. He knows when to run, when to run, and not solely rely on his legs. He wants to be a quarterback mentally and learn different styles of offense, and not just, all right, I just want to run and tuck the ball. And then two, the biggest thing when it comes down to quarterbacks, what I look at is there's not a lot of thinking. When you know you got a quarterback, when you know you got a good quarterback, man, that quarterback can do one thing. He doesn't think twice about things. He just lets it rip. I tell these people, I tell them all the time, this is how you know when you got a quarterback. When you see him on the field, he's not thinking, there's not a lot of pausing. He's just letting it rip. So I haven't seen a lot from Jaden Daniels yet as a passer to say he's that guy. Do you think we should bring in Matt Ryan to teach Ritter? He's fine, man. He's fine. They have Matt Sharp there at camp. With the coaching staff too. He's getting more than enough as far as the quarterback concerned. But I think Matt Schaub, if he's continuously there, if he's going to be there next year, he'll be fine with Matt Schaub. And the Falcons could potentially bring in another coach that's going to add to it. You got TJ Yates, you got Matt Sharp there. So he has guys at quarterback position to teach him. But maybe Matt Ryan could add a little something to it. So like I said, that the thing is, that's why I said as far as quarterback concerned, I look for that dog in him, man. It's like I don't care about all that. He can throw the ball hard and he can do this. Sometimes the best trait as far as a quarterback concerned is just his mentality. He just won't quit. He's going to go out of his way. He's going out of his way to make it, to make that, to prove that he belongs. So I haven't seen that. Joe Montana, my favorite quarterback of all time is obviously Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning didn't have the biggest arm. I know a lot of people think he did, but if y'all see a lot of the balls that Peyton threw, it really wasn't pretty. But he got it done with his accuracy, his intelligence, studying film, obviously his antics and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what made Peyton Manning, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time, because even with his physical limitations, he used his head. He was the most cerebral quarterback the game has ever had, I've ever seen. I don't think there's a smarter quarterback in the NFL history than Peyton Manning. But like I said, as a quarterback, I don't care nothing about all the physicality, and he can run a 4.2 and he can throw the ball 80 yards. If you don't have that dog in you, if you don't have the want to or the drive to be a great player, nothing matters. So if that's all, man, I appreciate everybody for joining us. But it's been 2 hours and it's too damn long because we got another show tonight. And like I said, at the end of the day, man, I don't know what the answer is for the Atlanta Falcons right now. And we are going to see what that answer is. So appreciate everybody for joining. Yeah, Vaughn, I stand on that. Like, sometimes football and greatness is all about the want and the need to be great. You know what I'm saying? Doug Williams, like I said, a lot of these guys, you got to want to be the greatest. And sometimes some players, and this is why, like, a lot of people don't know, I'm a huge Justin Fields fan. I'm a huge Justin Fields fan. But he doesn't want to be great. You don't see him going to meetings with other quarterbacks. You don't see him working out. You don't see his progressions of want to be a quarterback. He ran to the easiest thing possible with Ohio State and ran an RPO. When he was challenged at Georgia, he stayed there. When he was faced with a challenge at Georgia, he ran to Ohio State and cried that he didn't get his opportunity instead of working. Tom Brady stayed there at Michigan. Now, he wanted to leave, but he stayed there and he worked his ass off. And a lot of coaches, a lot of quarterbacks, hell, even Stetson Bennett, he worked his ass off. A lot of these guys, and like I said, probably Stetson Bennett, probably not a good comparison because he did he went to another school himself, but he proved himself as far as the film, learning the position, like he proved all that. But like I said, a lot of these quarterbacks that's been physically gifted, and they are physically gifted, they don't want it, man. When you know a motherfucker want it, like you can just see it in his eyes. You can see it in his play. You can see how you can see like a motherfucker like Beast Mode. Like Beast Mode wants to be great. He know he's great. And you just know it when you see it. Some people just rely too heavily on their own gifts. It comes so easily. So like I said before, man, I appreciate everybody for joining. It's been 2 hours, and like I said, we gonna go this thing tonight at 8 o'clock. Y'all gonna love this conversation because K-Styles got something to say about your boy Justin Fields. Y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna love this, man. I promise you that. So hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, head over to the Heavy Hitters live channel. Help us get to 500. Appreciate everybody for joining. Noah, Billy, all you guys. But like I said, it's been 2 hours. I appreciate it for joining us. I'm out of here, man. Peace.